Hi folks, Russell Wright from themezoom.com, and apparently there's still a couple people that are confused about silo architecture, and there are some contradictions that have been perpetuated about silo architecture recently in the forum. I'm going to go ahead and explain where the contradictions come from and clear up the confusion. Sue, Bell, and myself are not contradicting each other, and if it appears that way, we're not intending to. I'm going to go ahead and explain to you once again how silo architecture works. Don't feel bad if you don't understand it yet. It took me a long time to understand it when Bruce Clay first taught it to me, so let me go ahead and explain what's going on. First of all, guys, it's not rocket science, but you have to look past just linking structure. What was happening in the early days, let me get a pin out here. What was happening in the early days is that Charles Heflin had a version of siloing for the plan, which was based on many, many sites, where he would daisy chain one article to the other, kind of like this. And then he would take this bottom article, no matter what the keyword was, I don't even think it really mattered, and he would come right back up around either to the next article. And I don't even think he had the concept of silo landing page. If he did, on the plan. It was called the plan. That was never the method taught by Bruce Clay. It was never the method that I taught. The plan was something created by Charles. I supported the plan by showing Charles how corporate siloing was actually accomplished. Okay, so what you need to do, and Charles doesn't necessarily do the plan right now. Okay, the master plan was written at a time. Quite honestly, the master plan is good, but there are things in the master plan that I did not write. Charles is one of my best friends, but I do have to say that I did not write the master plan, so it's not 1000% endorsed by me. The ThemeZoom brand is mentioned in there, and I've taught Charles everything that I could over those years. Okay, so this comes directly from how you properly silo. This is coming directly from Bruce Clay and other silo experts out there. You have to consider the keyword when you're doing this model. Okay, so let me switch from just a pure S1, S2 and move over to the keywords. Okay guys, if you're still confused about silo architecture, listen closely. The purpose of proper silo architecture is to maintain the theme, okay, in each silo, and to only utilize the theme rank or the keyword theme in order to support the theme within the site. So you'll have these different articles like real estate this, real estate that, or you'll have co-occurrent synonyms that are closely tied to real estate courses, and they may appear in these silos. Okay. Now the question as to whether you use these articles as silos or silos as articles comes during the VOMA or the planning process for a very specific reason. The very high competing number of pages should be your silos. Articles should generally be less competitive. Or if they're not, then they're long tails that don't have as many competing pages but still contain the word. Like, for example, real estate has tons of competing pages, right, where real estate courses does not. Real estate training does contain the word real estate, correct? But it's a different theme. If you're going to target real estate training, what determines that? If you're going to target real estate training, you're going to very specifically anchor text those with the inbound links during your inbound linking campaign. You understand? Okay, and real estate training and real estate courses are two different terms. Okay, yes, overall, that aggregate inbound link system, aggregate inbound links to all of these sites that you're targeting will eventually help you rank for real estate on its own. That's the whole point. This is what buoyant page rank is actually about. All I was saying in the real estate course is that if you have a real estate article, okay, this is the part that you guys are confused on. All Sue was saying is don't daisy chain these articles together. And if you are going to link an article from one silo to another, as a general rule of thumb, okay, understand, guys, that I'm talking about the context of the article. Okay, there's an article on here called Real Estate Courses in Wisconsin. Let's say that this article is Real Estate Courses in Wisconsin, and you're writing the body of the copy, and you happen to mention real estate training in Ontario. Okay, well, real estate training is a word that you're targeting for whatever reason you've determined that during your VOMA. Okay, that is an opportunity if you wish to link from the word real estate training in the real estate courses silo, okay, if you've decided to make that a silo. Okay, if you have an entirely other silo called real estate training, meaning you've put this up on a pedestal and you want to focus on it specifically with your money, your inbound links, and your targeting, then this is an opportunity to link as well internally. In other words, you can consider siloing pretty much an inbound link campaign on your own internal site. Okay, it has the same effect, except you're trying to maintain all this page rank. Okay, you're trying to maintain these themes. You want to target the page that is most thematically aligned to the keyword for any linking. If you were mentioning real estate training in this article, you would link back over to the real estate training silo. If you mentioned it over here, you might do it. Okay? My point here is that you have a place for all the appropriate themes to go. And you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to have 100 links on a page, because then you'll bleed page rank. Okay? So let's take another look at this again from a different perspective. Let's get right back to basics here and ignore any other documents that may have been out 3 years ago having to do with the plan. That is, disregard the master plan and even disregard what the heck is a silo for a second and just pay attention to this. Okay, here's your silo landing page, here's your project. Project really can be ignored because a project is just, you can actually target 4 keywords on the project page. Okay, so let's just take a second and look at the challenge. Let's say you have a word blue, green, okay, yellow. These are the marbles, okay? Now, I don't want to get too abstract with you, but what you're trying to do, hopefully you understand that when you target a page with off-page links, there's another website over here, okay? And the webmaster or the blog master says, oh, blah, 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 yellow. And then he anchor texts it, right? And then he puts the URL of this page in. That's effectively pointing a link to the word yellow from a third-party site. And hopefully you guys understand that the more people that do that with the word yellow, the more likely the chance that the word yellow on this page is going to be at the top of the search engine results. If you have a hard time understanding that, then we need to find another place to put you in with ThemeZoom, because I don't have an easier way to teach that. You have to have understanding. Maybe the shopping cart will be a more remedial place for people to go who are still in those beginning phases. If you don't understand how link power helps you go higher on the search engines when the on-page factors are generally correct, then we need to find another level of education for you. Okay, this issue of off-site factor is the same when it comes to on-page factor. On-page factor means inside your website. Okay, that means that when I write an article down here that happens to have the word yellow in it, I don't care if it's yellow widgets, I don't care if it's the word yellow or 5 words with the word yellow in it. Depends on what you're trying to target off page. It may be yellow bananas or yellow people purple eaters. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter as long as that is a word you've decided based on dollar and co-occurrence to target using Kraken or ThemeZoom and the rest. Okay? What I'm saying is that every time you mention the word yellow in any article, what we're saying is that you don't link from article to article. You don't link across articles in silos. Okay? If you do, what we're saying is that it's not ideal. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I'm saying it doesn't support the optimal buoyant PageRank methodologies. Okay? So what I'm really trying to tell you to do is that it's not necessarily the end of the world. Sue won't like it if you do it. It's not the best way to do it. You can do some new follows if you'd rather point directly to an article. Bloggers all the time are pointing from one blog article to the next, okay? It's a normal way of doing business. You're mentioning an article. You want to take it to the actual article page. Well, when you're building a corporate site, mentioning the word yellow or yellow widgets or whatever long tail might be stemmed off of the word yellow is an opportunity to support that yellow silo landing page. And you have to make a choice. Wow, I'm mentioning the word yellow or yellow widgets. That's an opportunity for me, just like you create an inbound link off-site, you're able to create one internally. And what do you know? You can link to your own silo landing page, which basically is giving you link power from one silo to another while maintaining the theme rank of the overall site and increasing the buoyancy of your yellow silo on the search engine so that you can appear higher on the search engines just like you would off page. Okay? If this doesn't make any sense, please ping me back and I'll get further and further into depth of discussing the basic siloing function. Russell Wright from themezoom.com signing off.